KWT slaying.
Salama family, Salama, how y'all doing today? Hope you're blessed and highly favored. I could tell you one thing. Yakoba be fighting that fight, I ain't gonna lie. You know, the scripture says in Psalm 101:7, he that worketh deceit shall not dwell within my house. He that telleth lies shall not tarry in my sight. You know, some of them people out there just be straight up lying. That's all I gotta say. I ain't gonna say nothing else other than some of them people out there just be straight up lying. But he that worketh deceit shall not dwell within my house. He that telleth lies shall not tarry in my sight. Some people don't have fear, y'all. I'm telling you, I fear the Most High. So let's go straight to this particular teaching, because some people get upset because everyone has their own view on a topic, and everybody has the right to have their own view on whatever topic they have. And some people tell me, well, Yakoba, you think you're right. You think you're always right. Blah, 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 blah. I'm like, okay. All I'm saying is, give me the scriptures. Keep it in context. I mean, maybe for me, some things just seem obvious. You know what I'm saying? Like, hey, the sky is blue. Some things just obvious. The grass is green. Now, that's not always the case, right? I mean, context is always important. Grass ain't green out there in the desert, right? If you have grass, I'm like, so, I don't know. Some things that may be clear to me is not clear to others. And I'm not going to fight you on it. I'm not going to fight you on it, but sometimes I'm like, I just don't get it sometimes. I'm like, I don't know. I don't know. So anyway, the whore. The whore rides the beast. What is the beast? Well, Daniel tells us what the beast is. I don't want to go through all that again. Daniel tells us that the fourth beast is going to be worse than the others, and the fourth beast is going to have iron claws and fangs and tear and shred to pieces. So the fourth beast is different than the other beasts, which, according to the scriptures, right, has a reference back to that statue of Daniel, which represents those nations that ruled the world at that time and enslaved Israel. So all those successive beast empires ruled the world and what? Enslaved Israel. So this woman, she sits on that world system that's different than the previous systems, because the previous system had Babylon ruling, Medo-Persia ruling, Greece ruling, Rome ruling. But now you have this beast, that's a conglomeration of other nations, right? Can we say the League of Nations? Can we say the United Nations? Can we say the New World Order, this current world system? I mean, maybe some things just too clear for me, or maybe I just got it wrong like that. But the beast itself represents a world order, the New World Order. It is different than the previous nations that ruled the world and what? Enslaved Israel. So now you got a conglomeration of nations that make up a beast empire. But the woman is on top of this dragon, this beast system, this new world order, this world government run by Satan. This woman sits on that beast. Now, what does the woman sitting on the beast represent? What does the fact that she's sitting on the beast represent? Let me ask you a question, family, before I continue. When you are riding on a horse, what does it represent when you're riding on the horse and you take control of those reins? What does it represent when a person is on a horse and has the reins in their hands? That's what I want to know. Yes, the one who controls it. Control. So the woman that controls this world government, new world order system, this woman that rides the beast, controls this world system. So some people say, well, Russia is Babylon, China's Babylon, Turkey's Babylon. They're all Babylon. No, 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 no. There's one woman, one city, or one nation that controls that world order. And I'm going to prove this. So with the imagery that we have here of a woman controlling a global governmental system should help you understand who she is. It can't be the Vatican. I know some of y'all say, well, it's the Vatican because, behind the scenes, the Vatican controls everybody. Look, the Vatican does control everybody, but she's not the whore that rides the beast. How do you know that, Yakoba? I know this because there are attributes given to this woman that describe who she is. It's sort of like the attributes given to Israel that describes who they are. Deuteronomy 28 gives a bunch of attributes that describe who the Israelites are. You will know them. Why? Because these curses shall be a sign on Israel forever. Well, how do you recognize the whore? Assuming we living in the end times, right? And obviously we are. Then who is the whore? Who controls the world order right now? The WHO don't control the world order. The United Nations don't control the world order. Because that is the world governmental order. Who controls it? It is the whore. So let's continue on. We go into scripture. All right, Revelation 17. One of the seven angels who had the seven bowls came and said to me, come, I will show you the punishment of the great prostitute who sits on many waters. So she sits on many waters. Attribute of the whore. With her, the kings of the earth committed adultery, and the inhabitants of the earth were intoxicated with the wine of her adulteries. So, what is the adulteries that the world is intoxicated with? We're going to get to that. So, with her, the kings of the earth committed adultery, and the inhabitants of the earth were intoxicated with the wine of her adulteries. What intoxicates the world? What does all of the world powers want? We're going to get there. Then the angel carried me away in the spirit into a wilderness. There I saw a woman sitting on a scarlet-colored beast that was covered with blasphemous names and had 7 heads and 10 horns. All right, so this is that world governmental system, the beast system we talked about, which was different from the other ones. The woman was dressed in purple and scarlet and was glittering with gold, precious stones, and pearls. She held a golden cup in her hand, filled with abominable things and the filth of her adulteries. The name written on her forehead was what? Mystery. Babylon the Great, the mother of prostitutes and of the abominations of the earth. So she's dressed in purple and scarlet and glittering with gold, precious stones, and pearls. She held a golden cup in her hand filled with abominable things and filth of her adultery. So some people are going to say, well, see, that's the Vatican. Because, see, they're dressed in purple. But purple is just the cloth for rulership. Okay, she's glittery. She's glittering. She has gold. She has money. She has stones, pearls. What do these attributes represent? So if any of y'all was on the community tab, I stated the following. Those who are teaching that the United States is not Babylon are misleading people. Babylon is a whore that sits upon many waters, which means she controls many nations, which is why she is riding the beast. Remember, control. The beast represents the current world order. How can other nations be Babylon when the 10 hate the whore? So we're going to get to this part too. How can other nations be Babylon when the 10 will hate the whore and burn her with fire? They would burn themselves if all of them were Babylon. The attributes of the whore named Mystery Babylon are listed below. Okay, so what do we see here? So we see right here that she's dressed in purple, scarlet, glittering with gold, precious stones, and pearls. So luxury goods. So this may include items such as clothing, right? Jewelry and accessories made of gold, precious stones, and pearls. Luxury goods. Who has all that? Right? Luxury goods. And we're going to see it's all tied to merchandising. We're going to get there later. So exotic commodities. These could be items obtained from distant lands, such as spices, rare woods, and unique textiles. Is the Vatican dealing with all of these things? Is the Vatican dealing with the luxury goods and have a relationship with the kings because they lust after these things? Exotic commodities like spices, woods, unique textiles. Who's that? Who trades in all of these things? Material wealth. This encompasses various forms of wealth, including money, assets, and possessions. Symbolic objects. Certain objects may hold symbolic meaning in different interpretations, such as the gold cup, representing indulgence and corruption. So she's wealthy. She has luxurious items, right? Exotic commodities, right? The kings lust after it. And she has a cup filled with abominations of her indulgence, right? Indulgence, overindulgence, overeating, overdrinking, all of that. Corruption. Who is this? And we're going to get to it because some of y'all still think it's the Vatican. Some of y'all still think it's the global order. Well, the global order is the world governmental system. It is a Babylonian system, but Babylon is a city or a nation that controls that. system because she rides the beast. Trade and commerce, symbolizing the influence and control of economic systems, including the buying and selling of goods. And we're going to get there. So I saw that the woman was drunk with the blood of God's holy people, the blood of those who bore the testimony of Yeshua. Okay. So Christians think this is them. That ain't happened. They think it's probably going to happen in the future. Maybe, maybe not. But if we rephrase this, I saw the woman was drunk with the blood of Yah's chosen. Drunk with the blood of Yah's chosen. Some people say saints. The blood of those who bore testimony of Yeshua. So who are those who are testimony of Yeshua and are the chosen people? Killed by this woman. And I'm going to show you, if you take the description and the attributes of this nation, you will find that it is the United States of America. Because she's drunk with the blood of Yah's people. And we're going to see, can we say slavery? Can we say Jim Crow? Can we say being murdered by police officers? I'm not finished. I'm going to show you. It's all there. When I saw her, I was greatly astonished. Then the angel said to me, why are you astonished? I will explain to you the mystery of the woman and of the beast she rides, which has 7 heads and 10 horns. Okay, so we can say 7 heads. What? Can we say the G7 nations? The G7 nations? And 10 horns. This is just my opinion. Eat the meat, spit out the bones. I believe the 10 horns are these, the 5 bricks and the 5 Western European nations, right? That's forming now. I mean, on this beast, right? The beast which you saw once was, now is not, and yet will come up out of the abyss and go into its destruction. So this beast is also associated with Apollyon, the beast that rises out of the abyss, who controls this dragon system. The devil controls this dragon system. The inhabitants of the earth, whose names have not been written in the book of life from the creation of the world, will be astonished when they see the beast, because it once was, now is not, and yet will come. What does it mean by this? Now, some of this stuff you have to interpret based upon what we see currently and what we see historically. It's just my opinion. Eat the meat, spit out the bone. But it says, because it once was, can we say the Roman Empire, also the Babylonian Empire? Because Rome was also a continuation of Babylon. It once was, now is not, because Rome disappeared supposedly, and yet will come, and it came again. So, also indirect reference is also, in my opinion, in reference to Apollyon. Because Apollyon controls these nations and their kings. And remember, I did the study about the Antichrist and how the Antichrist is a spirit. And that's why there are many Antichrists, right? And if you don't know what I'm talking about, go watch the teaching I did on the Antichrist. How I believe, according to the scriptures, that this spiritual being possess kings that rule these nations and that end up ruling and persecuting Israel. All right. Verse 9, this calls for a mind with wisdom. The 7 heads or 7 hills or mountains on which the woman sits. Now, mountains is synonymous with kingdoms. Now, this translation says hills. But in the scriptures, you will see that mountains are synonymous with kingdoms. So the 7 heads are 7 kingdoms on which the woman sits. Can we say G7? Because remember, this is a beast system of nations that's different than the past, that's conglomerated together, that formed a new system of rulership of the world. It's no longer a single entity like Babylon. It is a conglomeration of nations. Can we say the United Nations? So there are also 7 kings. 5 have fallen, 1 is, the other has not yet come. But when he does come, he must remain for only a little while. We could talk about this in the future. Right now, my emphasis is on the whore. The beast who once was and now is not is an 8th king. He belongs to the 7 and is going to his destruction. So there's another empire that's going to arise and be the 8th king. Okay, but I don't want to dwell on that. Let's move on. The 10 horns you saw are 10 kings who have not yet received a kingdom, but who for 1 hour will receive authority as kings along with the beast. So what do we know about these 10 kings? We know according to scripture that these 10 shall what? Hate the whore and burn her with fire. So the whore, Mystery Babylon, cannot be just the system because they all are a part of the system. But yet there's these 10 kings who are part of the beast system that hates the woman that controls it. So these 10 will hate the whore and burn her with fire. Y'all know that scripture. I don't have to go to it. If you don't know it, Google it. Okay, so the 10 horns you saw are 10 kings who have not yet received a kingdom, but for 1 hour will receive authority as kings along with the beast. They have one purpose and will give their power and authority to the beast. So according to this scripture, in my opinion, they're going to give their power to the beast system, which is the new world order, which is the world government, which is the great reset, which is this new system that's being created right before your eyes today. So they will wage war against the Lamb, but the Lamb will triumph over them because he is Lord of Lords, King of Kings, and with him will be his called, chosen, and faithful followers. So the world government is going to fight against the Most High. Then the angel said to me, the waters you saw where the prostitute sits. Okay, stop right there. So we know that the whore is a nation that controls this conglomeration of nations called the beast. And so the angel said, the waters you see where the prostitute sits, because remember, the prostitute is sitting on these nations, but also she's over the waters, and the waters represents peoples, multitudes, nations, and languages. So the woman not only controls the world governmental beast, the new world order, the current new world order, the current world order. She not only sits and controls the current world order, but she sits on peoples, multitudes, nations, and languages. The Vatican doesn't do that. The Vatican is not controlling the world governmental system and has influence on people's multitudes, nations, and languages. But if you try to make that case, we're going to discuss why the other attributes does not align with the Vatican. So this prostitute has influence over the world, but the 10 hates her. So she's going to be destroyed at some point, and the 10 is going to take over. And the scripture says, in the days of these 10 shall the God of heaven set up a kingdom that shall never end. So right now, the prostitute controls the world. Now, try to go against the United States and see what happens. You're going to get sanctioned. You won't be able to get certain goods and items. You won't be able to trade with other nations. Oh, we're going to get there. See, Babylon has a Babylonian system, and she influences all these nations because she sits on these other nations, this conglomeration of a world government. She sits on it, she controls it, she influences the people, and try to do trade with them and see what happens. Try to go against them and see if you don't get sanctioned. Try to see if you won't get kicked out of the SWIFT system. See if she don't influence the world. See if all of the colonies created by her and her mother, called Britain, does not influence every nation. The beast and the 10 horns you saw what will hate the prostitute. So how can the whole world government order system be Babylon? No, the whole world order governmental system is influenced by Babylon. Why? Because the woman controls the world government. She controls the beast system. Where's the United Nations headquartered? What nation is the United Nations headquartered? Because the United Nations is representative of the beast, this fourth kingdom. So the beast and the 10 horns you saw will hate the prostitute. They will bring her to ruin and leave her naked. They will eat her flesh and burn her with fire. For Yah has put into their hearts to accomplish his purpose by agreeing to hand over to the beast their royal authority until Yah's words are fulfilled. The woman you saw is the great city. What? She is the great city. What? She is the great nation that rules over the kings of the earth. So who is this woman? She rules over the kings of the earth. This Babylonian whore, this system, this nation, this city rules over the kings of the earth. Is that the Vatican? Does the Vatican rule over the Muslims? Does the Vatican rule over the Tibetans? Does the Vatican rule over the Chinese? No. It's the United States. Now try to go against the United States and see if you don't get handled. Try to come in and create your own currency and see if you don't get invaded. Try to go against this system and see if your money don't dry up. Not only that, the whore persecuted the chosen. But what else? What are the other attributes of the whore? Let's talk about that. Let's talk about the other attributes of this whore. After this is Revelation 18. After this, I saw another angel coming down from heaven. He had great authority. And there it was illuminated by his splendor with a mighty voice. He shouted, "Fallen, fallen is Babylon the Great. She has become a dwelling for demons and a haunt for every impure spirit, a haunt for every unclean bird, a haunt for every unclean and detestable animal. For all the nations have drunk the maddening wine of her adulteries. The kings of the earth committed adultery with her, and what? The merchants of the earth grew rich from her excessive luxuries." Let's stop right there. How can Babylon be the Vatican when the kings of the earth who committed adultery with her and the merchants, those who trade, buy, sell goods, grew rich from her what? Luxuries. What nation sells to all nations on the planet? Who sells your cars? Who sells your trucks? Who sells your houses? Who sells you insurance? Who sells you gold? Who sells you silver? Who sells you meat? Who sells you vegetables? Who sells you medicine? Who sells you air? Who sells you insurance? Anything. I mean, what other nation sits on all of the other nations, controls them, influence every nation, people, and language, and people grow rich by her luxuries? The Vatican don't have no merchandise to sell. But Babylon influences and make everybody else rich. It's really not that hard. I mean, maybe some things just clear to me. I'm sorry. Maybe sometimes y'all feel, Yacoba, you think you know everything, but no, not really. I'm just like, I mean, maybe some things I think is just obvious. Wanting to escape Babylon's judgment. Then I heard another voice from heaven say, come out of her, my people. Who? The chosen. The chosen. It ain't the Christians. I know that's what y'all believe, but hey, believe what you want. Come out of her, because I'm going to show you why it's not the church. But anyway, come out of her, my people, so that you will not share in her sins, so that you will not receive any of her plagues. We did the study on that. We talked about Jeremiah 50. We talked about Jeremiah 51, where the Most High tells us to flee. In Jeremiah 50 and Jeremiah 51, who is he telling to flee? Is it the church or is it Israel? So here, the Most High is telling us to flee. Come out of her, my people. So that connects it back to Jeremiah 50:51, where the Most High told Israel to flee. So who are these people then we're talking about here? We're talking about Israel. So come out of her, my people, so that you will not share in her sins, so that you will not receive of her plagues, for her sins have piled up to heaven. Why does she has plagues? Why is she under judgment? Well, the Bible told us that she's under judgment because of what she did to Yah's people. Come on now, you got to put it all together. You got to add it all together. Keep it in context. I mean, maybe it's just so simple for me. I'm sorry. For her sins have piled up to heaven, and Yah has remembered her crimes. Give back to her as she has given. Pay back double for what she has done. Pour her a double portion from her own cup. All the stuff she's done to all these other nations, invaded them, killed their people, murdered them, put in certain stuff to make them not feel well. Pour it on her. Give her as much torment and grief as the glory and luxury she gave herself. You know why people don't want America to be Babylon? Because they love the luxuries. They love the money. They love the nice high-end cars. They love the beautiful houses. They love Disney World. That's why they don't want America to be Babylon. That's why they want everybody else to be Babylon. That's why, because everybody gonna be judged at the same time, and not the place where you live. See, this is why they want everybody but America Babylon. See, the Vatican is Babylon. The other nations are Babylon, because if America Babylon, then I gotta leave. So give her as she has given. Pay her back double for what she's done. Pour her a double portion from her own cup. Give her as much torment and grief as the glory and luxury she gave herself. In her heart she boasts, I sit enthroned as a queen. I am not a widow. I will never mourn. Therefore, in one day her plagues will overtake her, death, mourning, and famine. She will be consumed by fire, for mighty is Yahuwah who judges her. So she says, I run this show. I run this world. You can't do nothing to me. I control all these nations. I sit on the new world order system. I am in control of the United Nations. I am the head of the Security Council. You can't do nothing to me. And I got the biggest military on the planet. You ain't gonna touch me, because you gonna have to try to come and take this out my hand. You're gonna have to try to take this gold cup out of my hand. You're gonna have to try to push me off this beast. Good luck trying. What did them Gentiles say? Russia can't defeat America. America's too powerful. China can't defeat America. America's too powerful. Isn't that not what they say? Is that not what them Gentiles say? They can't defeat us. We too powerful. And not only that, if they were to get here, we got guns behind every blade of grass. They'll never conquer us. We ain't gonna never see the loss of children. That's what she said. Come on now. Does that fit the Vatican? Does it fit the other nations? Or does it fit America? Verse 9, when the kings of the earth who committed adultery with her and shared her luxury, so the king shared her luxury, her wealth. Why? Because they trade in goods and merchandise. See the smoke of her burning, they will weep and mourn over her, terrified at her torment. They will stand far off and cry, woe, woe to you, great city, you mighty city of Babylon. In 1 hour your doom has come. The merchants of the earth will weep. Why are the merchants weeping? Why? The merchants of the earth will weep and mourn over her because no one buys their cargo anymore. So why are the merchants upset? If it's the Vatican, why are the merchants upset that the Vatican was destroyed? Are they partaking in the luxuries of the Vatican? Is the Vatican selling them luxury items? But the merchants of the earth will weep and mourn over her because no one buys their cargoes anymore. No one buys her Mercedes. No one buys her BMWs. No one buys her computers anymore. No one buys her foods anymore. No one buys her animals anymore. No one buys her seeds anymore. No one buys her houses anymore. No one buys her insurance anymore. All those who got rich don't buy her stuff anymore. Why? Because she was destroyed. How is it the Vatican? She not selling nothing. What other nations sit on the world governmental system and influence and control all other nations? Ain't nobody else but the U.S. So the merchants of the earth will weep and mourn over her because no one buys their cargoes anymore. Cargoes of what? Gold, silver, precious stones, pearls, fine linen, purple, silk and scarlet cloth, every sort of citron wood, and articles of every kind made of ivory, costly wood, bronze, iron, and marble, cargoes of cinnamon and spice, of incense, myrrh, and frankincense, of wine and olive oil, of fine flour, wheat, cattle, sheep, horses, carriages, human beings sold as slaves. What other nation on this planet sits on the world governmental body, has influence on all nations, trades goods, luxury goods, mind you, and also sold slaves? Come on now. Verse 14, they will say, the fruit you long for is gone from you. What you looking for is gone. She's been destroyed. You ain't getting no more Mercedes. You ain't getting no more food from all over the planet that, they done took from everybody. You're not going to get any more luxury chocolates from Ghana. You're not going to get it. You're not going to get the designer clothes anymore. No, you're not going to get it. They will say, the fruit you long for is gone from you. All your luxury and splendor have vanished, never to be recovered. The merchants who sold these things, who merchants? What? Selling. Can't be the Vatican. It can't be the other nations because they don't control the world system. They don't ride the beast. The merchants who sold these things and gained their wealth from her will stand far off, terrified at her torment. They will weep and mourn and cry out, woe, woe to you, great city, dressed in fine linen, purple, scarlet, glittering with gold, precious stones, pearls. In 1 hour, such great wealth has been brought to ruin. So all of the people who trying to come over here from Africa, from Mexico, immigrating over here, they're going to be like, well, we can't go over there no more because, Babylon was the hope that we all had. Because, if you go to America, you're going to become rich. If you go to America, you get all the luxuries. They got BMWs. They got the high lifestyle of the rich and famous. Come on now. Everybody coming over here for what? Her luxuries. They lust after her luxuries, her gold, her silver, her gold, her nice parties and her homes, her wealth. Ain't nobody trying to go nowhere else. Everybody trying to really come to America. You know it. Who sits on many nations and controls them? Who sells every single item you could ever want in the history of the planet? Every sea captain, all those ships that they be sending over here with all the goods coming from China and coming from other nations, every sea captain and all who travel by ship, the sailors and all who earn their living from the sea will stand far off. When they see the smoke of her burning, they will exclaim, was there ever a city like this great city? Was there ever a city like America? Was there ever a nation like America? They will throw dust on their heads and weep and mourn, cry out, woe, woe to you, great city, where all who had ships on the sea became rich through her wealth. In 1 hour, she has been brought to ruin. What other nation does everyone get rich off who trades in this world? If you want to get rich, who you trading with? Rejoice over her, you heavens. Rejoice, you people of Yah. Who? The people of Yah. Rejoice, apostles and prophets, you Israelites. For Yah has what? Judged her with the judgment, what? She imposed on you. So what did she do? What did she do to Yah's people? What did she do to Yah's prophets? What did she do to Yah's apostles? Remember, she trades in the souls of men. She trades in slaves. What other nation fits all of these attributes? Then a mighty angel picked up a boulder the size of a large millstone and threw it in the sea and said, with such violence, the great city of Babylon will be thrown down, never to be found again. The music of harpists. Oh, so she got a music industry. She got a music industry. The music of harpists and the musicians, pipers and trumpeters will never be heard in you again. So the rappers and the hip hop artists, think you ain't gonna hear that no more. The jazz, you ain't gonna hear that no more. What other nations fits all of these attributes? See, some of y'all got an issue, right? And your issue is you love her too much. You love the fact that you got a nice house. You love the fact that you got a nice car. You love the fact that you got gold rings on. You love the fact that you could go and take vacations all over the place. You love the fact that you can go to any nation you want with that blue passport. You love it. While she killed your people, but you love it. No worker of any trade will ever be found in you again. The sound of a millstone will never be heard in you again. Why? Because she does all of this stuff. Manufacturing, production of goods. But y'all say, oh, it's everybody. Oh, it's all the nations. All the nations is Babylon. No, it's not. They don't fit the attributes. The light of a lamp will never shine in you again. The voice of bridegroom and bride will never be heard in you again. Your merchants were the world's important people. Come on now. Who else? Your merchants were the world's important people. Can we say Zuckerberg? Your merchants were the world's important people. The owner of Amazon. The merchants were the world's important people. By your magic spell, she didn't put everybody under the spell, every single one of us. By your magic spell, all the nations were led astray. She didn't deceive everybody. In her was found the blood of the prophets and of Yah's holy people. In her was found the Israelites. In her was found the Israelites. In her the blood of the Israelites. In her the blood of the chosen. Why? Because she trades in slaves as well. She trades in every good you can imagine. She trades in the blood of the Israelites. What other nation killing Yah's people like that? Come on now. You got to add all the attributes together. Ain't no other place on this planet that controls the world governmental system, that rides the beast, that trades in luxuries, that all the merchants in the world get rich off, other than who? America. The blood of the Israelites, the chosen people of all who have been slaughtered on the earth. So she killed the Israelites, and she killed other people as well. Who else could it be? Come on now. See, some of y'all love Babylon. Let's not get it twisted. We know it. You love her luxuries. You don't want to see your internet turned off. You don't want to see the water that goes into your house turned off. You don't want to have to go to an outhouse to take a dump. You don't want to get rid of none of the luxuries. You don't want to get rid of your air conditioner and your heating units. You don't want to lose nothing. You don't want to lose your swimming pool. You don't want to lose nothing. That's why America can't be it, because you live in laws like that. Though your people dying, you don't care because you on top. You on top. So she rides the beast. She controls the beast. She trades in gold, silver, precious stones such as pearls, fine linen, purple, silk, scarlet cloth, all kinds of citron wood, articles of ivory, articles of expensive wood, bronze, ivory, marble, cinnamon, spices, incense, myrrh, frankincense, wine, olive oil, fine flour, wheat, cattle, sheep, horses, chariots, and slaves. But you want to tell me it's the Vatican. Well, you know, Jacoba, the Vatican, they are the ones who sent us into slavery. Yeah, they did. But she don't have all these attributes. She's not sitting on the world governmental system. She's not controlling the world governmental political structure. She don't have influence on the economics of all these nations. She's not the one that's going on personally and hammering all these people and nations and putting them into subjection. She don't control the economics of the world. But all nations are a part of the American system. All nations are a part of the Babylonian system. Can you say SWIFT? Can you trade? Can you do commerce without going through SWIFT? They're trying to change it now. Why? Because the 10 are moving against the whore. All nations are a part of the Babylonian system, the American system, but all nations do not represent Babylon, the whore, because the whore rides the beast. She controls it. It's one nation. Why? Because the 10 gonna hate her and knock her off her high horse. The 10 are gonna hate her and knock her off her high horse. See, with all of this proof, all of this evidence, if you say it's not America, you got an agenda. Try to trade in goods and commodities with any other nation other than America if America doesn't say okay. Try to go against them and try to trade and sell your goods on the international market and America say no. Good luck. It's going to be very difficult. Only now are people really taking moves against the whore. Why? Because God has put in their heart to fulfill his will to destroy the whore because of all she had done. And she spilled the blood of the prophets and the apostles, the chosen. Some people just love Babylon. Finally, just so you don't think I'm all crazy, I asked ChatGPT, I say, ChatGPT, what's your thoughts on this? Let's get the little AI man involved. So here's what ChatGPT said. In the book of Revelation, the woman who rides the beast is mentioned in chapters 17 and 18. She is a symbolic figure representing a what? Powerful entity with various attributes. Let's explore her characteristics and their potential meanings. Appearance of great beauty. The woman is described as being adorned with extravagant attire and jewelry, symbolizing her allure. Why everybody want to come to America? Why? Because they are allured by her beauty, her jewelry, her wealth, her luxuries. Symbolizing her allure and attractiveness, this may represent the seductive nature of her influence. So she seduces people to come over here. Send your smart people over here to get an education. Come on, little Africans. Come on over here and work in Babylon and be a part of our system and help us grow. Come on, little Mexican. Come on, send your people over here so that we can get wealthy off of them so Babylon can continue to grow. Riding a beast. The woman is seen riding a scarlet colored beast with 7 heads and 10 horns. This beast represents a powerful political system or empire that the woman harnesses for her own purposes. The beast itself has symbolic significance, but its attributes are separate from the woman. What? The attributes of the beast is separate from the attributes of the woman. Why? Because she controls the beast. Even ChatGPT knows that this is a powerful political system or empire that is represented as a woman and uses her power for her own. This is not the Vatican. Why? Because of the merchandise, trading in souls of men, trading in goods and luxuries. Ain't nobody gonna be upset if Vatican fall, but everybody gonna be upset if America falls. Babylon the Great. The woman is associated with the city of Babylon, which is portrayed as what? A center of idolatry, immorality, and decadence. Babylon symbolizes a corrupt and godless society. Is that not what America is? Is not America full of idolatry? Can we say Justin Bieber? Can we say Kanye West? Can we say Beyonce? Can we say Jay-Z? Can we say P. Diddy? Is not Babylon full of idolatry, immorality? Now what? People want to do whatever they want to do with anybody, whether they're young or old. People want to be whoever they want to be, pronoun wise. Full of immorality and decadence. They do whatever they want. Babylon symbolizes a corrupt and godless society. They hate Yah and they hate Yah's people. They promote all filthiness and fornication, all aberrant lifestyles, and she controls the world governmental system. A name on her forehead. The woman has a name written on her forehead, which reads, Mystery Babylon the Great, the mother of prostitutes and the abomination of the earth. This inscription signifies her identity as a spiritual and moral adulteress, leading people away from true faith. Leading people away from true faith. She is considered an adulteress. Why? Because she claimed to be Christian. America's a Christian nation. What other nation considers themselves to be a Christian and sits on many nations and enslaved Yah's people and trade in merchandise and goods? That nations are going to be upset when she falls because they can no longer trade in her goods and get rich. Come on. Spiritual adultery. Ain't no more laws. Spiritual adultery. Money coming to me now. Spiritual adultery. Positive confession. Spiritual adultery. Anything but Yeshua. Spiritual adultery. Witchcraft mixed with Christianity. Spiritual adultery. Mormonism mixed with the Bible. Spiritual adultery. You got to keep all the attributes together. A golden cup. The woman holds a golden cup filled with abominations and filth of her immorality. This cup represents the spiritual pollution and corruption that she spreads to deceive and control people. Who spreads their adultery and their filth all across the world? What nation? Through the Hollywood, through television, through the export of their finances and their money. Can we say IMF? Who exports it? Who tells Africa you need to accept this or we are going to take away our money? We're going to put sanctions against you. This cup represents the spiritual pollution and corruption that she spreads. How can this be all nations? It's coming from one central point. It's called the whore, and she controls the beast. It's not that hard. Martyrdom of the saints. Can we say chosen? The woman is described as being drunk with the blood of the saints. Can we say chosen? And the martyrs of Yeshua. This suggests her involvement in the persecution and martyrdom of believers who oppose her influence. It also shows the persecution and murder of Yah's chosen people. Why? Because she trades in slaves. Who are those slaves? The Africans. Who are the Africans? The Israelites. Global influence. The woman is depicted as having authority over peoples, multitudes, nations, and languages. This highlights her worldwide reach and control over different populations or diverse populations. She controls the beast. She makes all the merchants rich. She trades in slaves. She says, I ain't gonna never see the loss of children. She then murdered everybody on the planet. Everybody's drawn to her luxuries and her seduction. Everybody's trying to go to America, come to America. Everybody ain't trying to go to Italy. Everybody ain't trying to go to Spain and Portugal. Everybody ain't even trying to go to China, even though some people go to China. Everybody wants the American dream. Everybody wants the American dream. If you line up the attributes, ain't nobody fits the whore like America. Like I say, it ain't that hard. Or maybe I just have eyes to see and you don't. It ain't that hard. See, this is why a lot of people want to attack me and make videos of me and lie on me and misrepresent me. Why? Because truth comes out of this ministry. The devil hates it. The devil hates it. Paul was like, Lord, can you remove this thorn out of my flesh? Everybody be like, well, what's the thorn? The Bible tells you what the thorn was. Paul like, can you remove this thorn out of my flesh? This messenger of Satan that came to torment me? So what's the thorn, Jacob? What's the thorn in the flesh? It's the messenger of Satan too that came to torment Paul. He like, Lord, every time I try to do your will, I do your work. What happened? I'm cast into prisons. I'm persecuted. Go read it. I'm persecuted. I'm insulted. I'm lied on. I'm misrepresented. Oh, can you remove this thorn from me? Yah says my grace is sufficient. See, this comes with telling the truth. You make enemies Sometimes they look like you. They don't want you to know the truth. Why? Because they want you to go to hell with them. Why? Because they sold out to the whore. See, some people don't want to hear the truth. Why? Because they love Babylon. Babylon paying them. Babylon feeds them. They fear Babylon more than they fear Yah. I fear Yah more than I fear Babylon. Why? Because I know him. I know his word. The righteous will what? Suffer persecution. Who's the accuser of the brethren? You don't see me being the accuser of the brethren. Who's the accuser of the brethren? I'm too busy doing work. He that worketh deceit shall not dwell within my house. He that telleth lies shall not tarry in my sight. See, this is why the devil's subtle. The devil is subtle. Yea, have God said, you shall not eat of every true tree of the garden. Yea, had not God said, you don't have to keep the laws anymore. Yeah, did God really say that America is Mystery Babylon the Great, the mother of harlot? It looks like it. Don't believe Jacob. Surely God wouldn't destroy America because America's a Christian nation. But she exports all the evil and the wickedness. And the people that she controls are evil and wicked. And the people who claim to be Christians, a lot of them are evil and wicked. Why? Because they don't even know what's right. I have faith, but I have no works. I show you my faith by my works. Don't you fear God? Don't you fear Yah? Don't you see what he's going to do to Mystery Babylon, the Great, the mother of harlots that you live in, that you dwell in? Don't let them lie to you. Don't let them tell you that Babylon is the whole world and there's no place to go that's safe. Oh, no. Babylon is America. Oh, there's a safe place. Where's that safe place, Jacoba? It's called the wilderness. Where's that safe place, Jacoba? Jacoba, it's called the wilderness. I will send her, who? The woman Israel, into the wilderness. What? To escape the dragon. Who's the dragon, Jacoba? The world governmental system controlled by the whore. I will send you into the wilderness to escape the world governmental system that kills the chosen. I'm balanced. And I'm a word man. And if it ain't in that word, I ain't going to speak it. And if it is in that word, I'm going to speak it. And I don't care who agrees with it or not. I don't care if you hate me. I don't care if you do videos on me. I don't care if you put poster boards up and call your Cobra this, call your Cobra that. I don't care. Because y'all are going to be judged. And guess what? I'm not going to even joy in the fact that you're going to be judged. Because I want all the Israelites to awaken and serve Yah. I don't even care. But y'all don't get payback. Oh, don't think all the lies, all the stuff, all the misrepresentation, all of the foolishness is not going to be judged. Why? Because he that worketh deceit shall not dwell within my house. He that telleth lies shall not tarry in my sight. Keep playing them games. This is why I'm a word man. This is why I don't go to the left. I don't go to the right. I go straight. I stay where the word keeps me. I stay in context. I don't try to guess. And if I do guess, it's an educated guess. See, there's not many people out here fighting for y'all. There's not. Pay attention. There's not many people out here fighting for y'all. There's not many people out here trying to give you the truth. There's not many people who's fighting all of the lies and the deception and the insults and the persecutions just to teach you God's word. And if they're out here, they're asking you to be their followers. I don't care like that. Follow Yah. I told you, I'm not your pastor. I'm not a prophet. I am not God. I'm a servant. That's all I am. I don't play those games. God said, Yah says, he don't give his glory to nobody else. I'm not standing in the way of that. Y'all don't understand what y'all dealing with. And as you lie on me, I'm telling you right now, as you lie on me, you're going to be judged, and you're going to wonder why all these evil things happening to you. And you're going to wonder why everything you ever touch is collapsed, because you're a liar. All I got to say, and half of them that's haters, don't even watch my videos, ain't watch never one of my videos. Why? Because what they do is they take a little piece like Satan did. Well, had God said, they take little pieces and misrepresent. That's how they do. They take little pieces and misrepresent. But what did Yacoba say in context? Well, you know, Yacoba says he's a prophet. And so therefore, Yacoba's a false prophet. Yacoba ain't never claimed to be a prophet. Y'all know that. Y'all who follow me, y'all know that. I ain't never claimed to be no prophet. See, but guess what? He that worketh deceit shall not dwell within my house. He that telleth lies shall not tarry in my sight. Peace and blessings, Israel. Your captivity is ending. Love you with the love of the Messiah. If you like what we do, please become a patron member, or you can give through Cash App, or you can like this video, or you can subscribe to this channel, or you can share these videos. Love y'all, family, and please support the Dry Bones Project.